Hey, in this video I'm going to show you 4 ways of how you can let PowerPoint do the work for you. Because I know we struggle a lot in PowerPoint and we do a lot of manual tweaking which we don't like, and that sort of makes us dread PowerPoint a little bit. But if we use PowerPoint the way it was intended to be used, well, it can actually become quite nice and it can do a lot of the manual work for us. So let's start with number 1, which is controlling your font pair. So very simply put, if we have a slide, we have different text boxes. So we have a title box and we have a regular text box. If we select the title box, we can see that PowerPoint by default adds the heading font to that. So in this case, it hasn't changed, it's Aptos display. So add your title here, and we can see this is now the headings font. If we add our body text here, we can see that this font is labeled as the body font. So that is the body text. Now what happens if we want to change this, for example, this title to something more playful? And we want to change that to, let's say, this one here, the Bauhaus. Well, if we do it like this, we get the result that we want, but the problem is if we have hundreds or different slides in our presentation, they're not going to change. And that's going to take us quite a lot of manual work. We don't want to do that, so I'm going to Ctrl Z, and we're going to do this in the background. So we go to View, Slide Master, and then we're going to look at the parent slide master here. Here we can select the fonts, and we can see there's a font pair selected, the Aptos display as a heading and the Aptos as a body font. We can always customize fonts, and then for the heading font, let's go for that Bauhaus. So let's go for the B and then select Bauhaus. We can name it anything that we like. I'm going to say it Bauhaus pair, and then we combine it with Aptos. I think that is a good one, and we save it. So we see now the title slide in the master, you can already see it happening. It has all changed to that Bauhaus. If I now close it, we can see that my entire presentation is now changed. So everything, all of the different titles contain that font. The same happens if I want to change the body font. So let me take a little bit of an extreme example. Right click, edit the font pair, and then we choose, for example, this baguette script. I'm not going to use this in a professional case because I think it's going to be very hard to read. So you see the logic, everything has now changed to that font pair of the Bauhaus with that custom script that we have. And that is exactly how you should control your fonts in your slides, because you don't want to do all the manual working in the front end because that's going to cost you a lot of time in the long run. You want to control that in the back end with your theme fonts. Now the second thing we want to talk about is a very similar one, which is about colors and how to control your theme colors. So the same logic applies here to the colors. What we can see is if we add a circle to the slide, we have our standard color palette here. So what we have is we have our dark and light theme, so light and dark 1 and 2, and then we have our 6 accent colors here. Now as long as you use any of those colors, it's perfectly fine and you can control them. Where does the problem happen if you go to a custom color? Well, if you go to the more fill colors and you start to sort of customize that yellow a little bit and you want to customize it like this is where a lot of the issues start to arise in a lot of the manual work. Because you can apply this to also your text, that is perfectly possible, but if you ever want to change that in the future, that becomes very messy. So let me show you. I'm going to duplicate this one, and for this I'm going to use the accent color. So using the accent color, and here on slide 36 I'm using just that plain or that custom color that we've created. Now if we go to View and we go to Slide Master again, we can see that next to fonts we also have the colors selection. So if I choose a different color palette and I'm going to customize it, if I just change this one here, so I go to more colors and I change it to that exact color that I want. You can always use the hex code or the RGBs if you want to have the specific color. And then I call this custom palette and press save. Now if I exit, so what you now see is that the entire presentation has changed. This one is still that yellow. So this one doesn't change. Maybe I'll change it to a little bit more of an extreme. So I go to Slide Master and I'm going to edit this one here to, for example, red. So I'm going to go for more of a red tone. There we go. And we can see that the entire presentation is now changed, except for these ones here. So those, because they are custom colors that don't exist in the theme color palette, that's why they don't change. So that is what you want to avoid if you ever want to control your colors. You want to stay in control and you want to do that from a center point, and that is going to be your slide master here. So you see how that logic applies to not only your fonts, but also your colors. And that's what makes it really important, and that can give you a lot of headaches if you start to compound these custom fonts and custom colors throughout your entire deck. It gets shared around, and it just becomes very messy very fast. So you want to stay in control of that. Now that brings us to number 3 of how you can actually let PowerPoint do the work for you, and that's going to be your slide layouts. So right here, if we're in the presentation, if you go to new slide, well, you see there's a lot of different slide layouts. Your company template might have a few different ones, but this is the logic of PowerPoint. So what you can do is you can choose any of the slide layouts, for example, a title, I'm just going to type in add your title in this box, and then maybe some dummy text, lorem ipsum lor sit amet consectator. There we go. You can always give it a little bit of an accent color by using that accent color, so it always changes with everything. And the cool thing is we now have a title slide, but in our slide layouts, we can easily shift sides. And I'll just put that on full screen. And what we now have is that we can change the layouts of the title, and you see how all of the components nicely snap to the right position because we use the nice placeholders from the slide layout. So this is actually pretty convenient. Now, this not only works for title slides, what you can also do is, for example, take one of these slides here, a little bit more complex, but if you know how to set that system up for yourself, well, you can easily change it to, for example, making it wider, or you can totally change it to a different side. And you see how everything just snaps into place. And that is exactly what you want to create for yourself. You want to create that system so that you can easily navigate through different layouts and it starts snapping into place. So even if you say like, okay, I don't need an image for this one, you can easily go to a different layout that doesn't have an image and you can start tweaking it right away. Or you can go for one that has an image, so you can go either way, you can go back, forward, create different examples of that. And the cool thing is if you use those underlying structures and you use them right, well, you can always just simply change the colors and everything, your entire presentation will stay in place. So it won't fall apart. All of your systems, your colors, your fonts, they will all stay in place. And the slide layouts, that's something which becomes very important when you start to use PowerPoint for a lot of different slides and you start to build these real corporate decks. You can start shifting from positions and not have to do everything manually. You set up your systems, you set up your slide layouts, and then you start adding in your content and you're quite flexible. Now that brings us to the fourth point, which is going to be AI. And of course we have to tackle this because it's changing so much of our workflows. But we want to use it in a controlled way, just like we did with the fonts, with the colors, with the slide layouts. We want to use AI to steer those things. Because the logic of AI is actually it's quite simple. It can do all of the actions in PowerPoint that you can do manually, which means if you know how to set up your workflow and you know how to set up that little bit of a system, well, you can ask PowerPoint to do all of these changes for you. All right, so what we're going to do is we're going to create a little bit of a mess on those slides because it's realistic, it happens. We get slides from a colleague that did some manual changes and we have to sort of fix it or work with it. But because we know what to do and the actions that we take, well, we can do some pretty cool stuff with it. So I'm going to select some of the titles here and I'm going to ask, or I'm going to give it that Bauhaus. So I'm going to change some of these fonts. And let's say that is a slide that you get from a colleague, or maybe it's like a few slides that you get from a colleague, but you don't know which slides in your entire presentation. I'm going to do a few more here. So like this. So you see all of the slides, some of them contain like a different title, others contain like the good title, you don't know which one is which. You can either start going through all of the different slides manually, or what you can do is, because you know the system, well, you can ask AI to sort of scan it for you and then run through it and automate these things. So for that, I tend to use Claude. You can use any of the other models as well, depending on which model you use or where they are sort of in the stage of development. This logic is actually in the same. So what we're going to do is we're going to type in our prompt here, scan through the slides. Let's say we have our slides from our colleague from 32 to 38. 32 to 38, and apply the heading font to all the titles. Make sure there are no custom fonts in the titles. And then we're just going to run it and see how it goes. So that is what we want to do, is if we, for example, don't know exactly where the issues lie, where the problems are, well, we can just have AI scan our entire document or a section of the document and sort of do that work for us. So I'll keep that on full display. It's now scanning all of the slides from 32 to 38, finding each title and stripping any hard-coded fonts so the titles inherit the theme heading font. That is exactly what we want. That is exactly what the logic is. And that is also why it's so important that you understand PowerPoint's logic. Because if you understand the logic and how to work in your workflows, well, that's when you can start to multiply your efforts. And that's where you can start to generate some really cool stuff with it and automate it for you. So now it says it detected some fonts. So on 33, that's already pretty good. I'm going to always allow it. And you see how it's doing that in real time. So I just clicked it, boom, it's done. And it has edited 4 slides. So it's doing that in real time. All of those fonts, 31, 32, this one's now changed, and all of these look pretty solid. Now let's do a little bit of a check. So now it's done. It scanned all 7 slides. Those 4 slides, the Bauhaus font has been removed. So that's exactly what we wanted. And now it has been changed. Let me just do a quick check. So we always have that heading font. So that's exactly what we want. And that is entirely cleaned up now. So you see how that logic goes, and how if we truly understand the tool and if we know how to act and control it, then AI can really become an amplifier. We don't want to just outsource everything to AI. We want to steer it and we want to control it. And that is also why I've built my latest program for business professionals, to really teach you these tricks and how to work in a professional way with PowerPoint. We don't have to become a slide designer. We don't have to become a template expert. We just have to know how to use the tool and how to use PowerPoint and how we can make it work for us with the corporate template that you have available, with the content that you have available, how you can sort of make your life a whole lot easier. So if you're interested in that, you can find everything via the link in the description below. Thanks for watching, and see you in the next video.